Home news: 10 athletes added to Buenos Aires Team. Buenos Aires 2018, Australia's team for the 2018 Youth Olympic Games, YOG, has more than doubled in size today as 10 more athletes have been named on the team. 5 sailors, 2 rowers and 1 canoe athlete will hit the Argentinian waters in October as part of Australia's third YOG team, joining the 8 athletes selected last week. Male windsurfer Alex Halang, NSW, female windsurfer Hayley Lee, Queensland, and mixed Negra 15 pair of Wilcooley, NSW, and Evie Hazeldine, NSW, will compete at the San Isidro Nautical Club, north of the Buenos Aires town centre. Joining the YOG program for the first time is the sailing discipline of kiteboarding. Kiteboarding combines elements of wakeboarding, windsurfing, surfing and paragliding into one thrilling discipline. Perth's Manny Bishops will enter the history books as Australia's first youth Olympic kiteboarder, after the 18-year-old topped the Oceania Youth Olympic Games qualifiers in Thailand in March, to secure a quota place for Australia. Bishops, who placed 11th overall at the 2018 World Youth Championships, started kiteboarding as a 10-year-old but switched techniques once he found out the Youth Olympics was an option for him. While I was on the world tour for hydrofoil kite racing, there was talk about kiting becoming an Olympic sport. Bishops said. They announced the discipline as twin tipping, so I had to get different equipment and practice the different course. I was just young enough to give it a go. As exciting as the competition will be, Bishops is looking forward to the whole YOG experience. I'm looking forward to being with the other Australian athletes, the food and the kiting of course. The feats will be smaller and racing more intense. Australia will have 2 rowing representatives in Buenos Aires, Taylor McCarthy-Smith, Queensland, in the women's single scull, and Cormac Kennedy-Leverett, Queensland, in the men's single sculls. 18-year-old McCarthy-Smith changed boats from the double scull to the single scull this year, and was stoked to secure Australia's Youth Olympic quota at the Oceania qualification event in Vanuatu. At the end of 2017 I got a call letting me know I was going over to Vanuatu to try and get a spot for an Australian junior to compete at the Youth Olympic Games in the single, and I knew from then that I wanted to be the one selected, and it became a daily goal for me to work towards. McCarthy-Smith said. I am really grateful to have the opportunity, as this doesn't come around every year. The Brisbane paddler finished 13th in the double sculls at the 2017 Junior World Championships, and is expecting YOG to be just as competitive. I think that the YOG will be an amazing experience, just like other international competitions. Our race will be over 500 meters, so that is really exciting because I love to sprint and will be different from the World Juniors. But although the racing will be different, I know it will be just as competitive as the World Junior Shoms, and I look forward to the challenge. Waving the flag for Australia in canoe kayak will be 16-year-old Janaya Massey, Queensland. After first hitting the waves in surf life saving, and with a background in kayak, Massey is well-rounded on the water and will compete in both kayak sprint and slalom. Off the water, Thomas Barnes has been selected as Australia's sole wrestling athlete in the freestyle discipline, and Ned Middlehurst, Victoria, will be the country's first youth Olympic sport climber. It's pretty special because it will be the first time sport climbing will be in the Youth Olympics, so to be selected and to be going is a pretty big privilege, and I'm really happy. Middlehurst said of his Buenos Aires 2018 selection. I think the experience I'll get from it being an Olympic event will probably help me with qualifying for Tokyo, so fingers crossed. Watch Ned talk about his YOG selection here. 18 athletes from 9 sports have now been selected for the Australian Youth Olympic team. Discover more about the Games here. Selected athletes for Buenos Aires 2018 Canoe Kayak Janaya Massey 16, Sunshine Coast Queensland Rowing Cormac Kennedy Leverett 18, Gold Coast QLD Taylor McCarthy Smith 18, Brisbane, Queensland.